Hello and welcome to O2 Inside Line Live. I'm Hugo Mon and I'm joined by the main man, Dylan Hartley. And whilst it might be fallow week, the work doesn't stop for the boys in red and white at the moment. The England rugby team, we're thrilled to be joined here. Dylan, we've just been watching training go on for the last 10-15 minutes. When you talk about intensity, these boys are really bringing it, aren't they?
Yeah, and we were saying would much rather be stood here because they do this thing before training called pre-fatigue training.
Okay.
Which is basically fitness. It's just a fancy way of labelling fitness.
Okay.
So before they go and do the 12-on-12 session that we're seeing here, they basically pre-fatigue the guys with a whole lot of shuttle runs, that sort of stuff. And trust me, being this side of the fence is a preferred option because I used to love playing, but like when we had fellow weeks, it was great for the team to kind of rest, get rid of knocks and a few little niggles and things like that. But Saturday's training was always kind of above match intensity, which I always dreaded because it's always fitness related. And being a big man, I got a bit nervous, you know what I mean? So it's a great chance for the team to work really hard today, to have an extra week together.
Look at them, Johnny May against George Ford. Lovely play from Max Malins there. Dylan, just a quick question on pre-fatigue fitness. Tell us the reason behind it. It might be really obvious to you, but lots of people at home be wondering why they're doing fitness before they're doing their skills.
I think they've only got 45 minutes on the field and they want to get as many metres in the guys as possible because obviously without a game today, they want to get the metres up, want to get the heart rate, the intensity of the session up. And instead of going into the session cold, they're going in ready to rock. And they've gone straight into 12-on-12. 12-on-12 is particularly hard because usually there's 15-on-15. 12-on-12, there's more space on the pitch, which basically means it's a lot quicker, a lot more open. It's a bit like sevens, really. Yeah,
well, you can see that, I mean, there's been some mistakes, but there's no scrums, no line-out, so the ball's been in play a lot. Poilo Adogwu has just put in, Owen Fowler's gone over for his first try, so at the moment, I think it's 1-0 to the team in white. Jamie George is absolutely loving training at the moment. He's tired, he's very tired. He's one of the older faces in the squad. We've got some newbies that have come in. George Martin from Leicester Tigers. Lots of people might not be too aware of him, but what's really impressed you about him?
If I'm honest, I'm one of those people that's not too sure. He's played probably 10 games for Leicester, but if you look at the size of him, 2 metres tall, he doesn't look out of place next to Maro and Courtney. And do you know what? I think it's just a great opportunity for him to come in and experience this environment. I'm sure he wouldn't be here without a good recommendation from someone like Steve Borthwick, who Eddie's obviously worked with. It's a really exciting opportunity for him to grow. Who else are we talking about?
We've talked about a load of players. I wanted to ask you another question on, for someone like George Martin, who's come in 2 weeks into a Six Nations, when you were captain, how do you make those people feel very welcome and just hit the ground running?
I think it's just encouraging him. You're here for a reason. Just go out there, do your thing, use his experience to grow as a player, go away from this experience, go back to Leicester and understand what it's like to train alongside Courtney Laws, Mara Toje, these world-class players. Use it as a learning tool. And you kind of said to me off camera, what are the chances of George Martin hitting someone late off the ball today to make an impression, just to let people know he's here? But what was actually funny, during the pre-fatigue warm-up, he was doing his own special warm-up by himself. So, no, it's good. It's really good because, like I said, unless you're a Leicester fan, we wouldn't know who George Martin was. So it's a really good chance for him to grow and hopefully, fill the boots of Courtney Laws one day.
Yeah, of course, absolutely that, but he'll be learning from some of the best in the business, and we often talk about leaders, and of course you captained England for a very long time. One of those guys around you would have been someone like Maro Toje. How important is he on days like today and match day as well?
I'm a little bit sketchy because it's all happening behind me here. I'm waiting for a ball to come in, but I can hear it,
I'll give you a shout, don't worry.
I can hear, I'm sure you will. I can hear Owen, I can hear Maro, I can hear the daddy, Kyle Sinclair, the daddy, that's what he goes by. But we all see these guys match day bring in the energy, and especially in an empty stadium now, you can hear these guys. And the barometer, the energy kind of barometer is the noise. And it just doesn't happen on Saturday. It's something that I say we, I'm not in there anymore, but we practiced, we reviewed, how was our communication today? And it's not sort of thing that just turns up Saturday. It's like a habit, it's habitual, it's performing. So today, you know, I can hear them. It's something they do every training session. The loud, the vocal, the energy's there. I'm kind of happy that it's far away now.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to say it's a real privilege to be here and great to see the guys up live. And not only are we here with Dylan Hartley, we have another absolute world superstar joining us as well. Danielle Waterman, England World Cup winner as well as an Olympian. Nolly, who are you chatting to?
I have the delightful Richard Hill, and Ugo, I don't think you've ever been so kind, so thank you for that introduction. You've moved your training base to the Lensbury, which is just down the road, but how cool is it to be able to come and train here at Twickenham?
Oh, look, the players love coming here regardless, so it's a phenomenal stadium. It's the place where as a kid you dream of playing. You watch games on TV. If you're lucky enough you come and see an international here, but yeah, the players love it. They've got some familiar surroundings, but one of the things you have to remember is, you know, the transition of a squad over a 4-year cycle is there are players that this is the first time they've actually come into Twickenham, and you know, it has been known in past years that a player will come to a match and he'll say, where's the toilet? You know, so to get the players familiar and comfortable with the surroundings is massively important as well.
And as the team manager, kind of what's your role with actually welcoming the players into the squad and getting them comfortable in this environment?
Well, I'm fortunate I've been working within the England pathway since 2014, so if you were to look at a number of players here, I've either seen them through my academy role when I finished retired at Saracens, or with the England pathway role. So I've seen them come through, whether it's 14, 15, so you become a familiar face when they walk in the door. That's not the case with everyone, and you've got to make an effort to make sure that everyone feels welcome, wants to be here and wants to stay here, and ultimately the environment that Eddie provides is one that's challenging and ultimately relies on growth. We want players to come in but not settle. We want them to thrive.
I don't think there's any settling today. They're absolutely knocking lumps out of each other, which is brilliant. But in terms of the bubble life, we know that it is challenging. As an ex-player, how would you find all of the new COVID protocols? Because I think they've intensified over the last few weeks as well. Yeah, look,
we had a set of COVID protocols for the Autumn Nations Cup, and that was different, and obviously meant that we had to be careful. But with the prevalence growing within society and the current lockdown that we're in, we've had to go to even stricter and more rigid ones. So the players with masks, it's not as easy as it looks, and I know that we are like everyone in society, and we have to get used to that. But even myself, I did about 25 minutes of exercise the other day, realised that I was had to run straight to a meeting. I'm out of breath and I put the mask on, and it's not comfortable, but the players know that it's something that we have to do, and we are fortunate that we can all be taking part in our job, a job that we all love. So players, they want to be out on the pitch, so anything that we can do to allow us to, but it limits time that you can spend together, whether that's in the organised, structured fashion of meetings, but also in terms of their social lives. There aren't big gatherings in rooms. We have to be mindful of getting ourselves out into the open space and doing the right things.
Would you have been a gamer?
Well, gaming was just about coming in when I was in international. I think we were probably on the
Snake on your mobile phone.
I think we were Xbox One, probably, or something like that, the original. But the players have had to find ways to create a teamship, to create a togetherness, and one of the things they can do is game in the game. So even if they go to their own room, there's a big effort to make sure they're gaming together. Just have that camaraderie, the connection. And with their headsets on, they can have a bit of banter as well.
And it's obviously a disappointing result against Scotland, but how pleased were you to see the boys bounce back against Italy with the result that they got? Yeah, look, Scotland was tough, and on reflection, we were bitterly disappointed as anyone connected with English rugby. Scotland played well on the day, and certainly we weren't able to get into any rhythm or play that we would like to. So, there was much more encouraging against Italy. Not only were we scoring tries, we were creating opportunities to score more tries. So that we know that, whilst it was a good performance, we were able to get some good score line. There's plenty of room to keep that improvement going. And not the best start to the tournament, but actually you get to go away to Wales. As a player, how much did you enjoy the build-up to a Wales fixture, but actually one when you get to travel over the bridge as well?
Yeah, I mean, Wales was always...
There's a steeliness in your eyes.
It was a great fixture. I mean, in my first, what was 5 nations then, you know, I got to play Wales away. So very quickly thrust into that environment of, you know, not only are you going into Wales, but you're also going into Cardiff, the capital of the country, and it becomes the social point of the whole weekend for the whole country. So, you know, there's a lot of people around, a touch of animosity around towards a bus that's got England plastered down the side doesn't necessarily go down well, and you know, the greetings can range from 5-year-olds to 70-year-olds. It doesn't seem to matter. So look, the players enter the country. They know the importance of the fixture, and certainly the locals make it. They try and make it a partisan crowd and environment, but you know, a great stadium, very enclosed. It's one of the noisier rugby stadiums that there is in the world.
Yeah. And we haven't got all the fans in the streets going absolutely mad, or the stadium filled, but I'm sure it will be a brilliant fixture. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of training.
Thank you.
Over to you, Ugo.
It was brilliant to hear from Richard Hill there. Dylan is absolutely fascinated by what's going on behind us. I almost kind of just want to keep quiet and not put off Jamie George. But who's been really impressing you during this session?
Naturally, I've had an eye on the big boys.
Okay.
Beno Urbano, Eddie was telling me how fit he is in this. But we saw a little head-to-head with him and Mako Vunapolo earlier, and Mako came off better, so the older statesman kind of took that one. Dan Robson, who's just in shot here, he's been lively because it's 12 on 12, it's quick ball, there's loads of space to play to. I mean, I'll just talk to the camera, you just... I've got nothing to 2 metres anyway. But Dan Robson's been real sharp. We got glimpses of what he can do against Italy last week, been really impressed. And our mate, Anthony Watson, I think he's scored two tries in training. 2-try Tone, he wants to be known as from now on. Ugo did say, like, if he had scored 2 tries last week, his hamstrings might have been a little bit tight for today, and he might have been on the massage table.
There is no way I'd be training today. Do you know what I always find fascinating is getting this level of inside training is actually quite remarkable. So thank you to O2 Sports for bringing this today. Can we read anything from the teams that we've seen? We've got one team in red, one against white, so is it just mind games?
No, because you've got Mara Itoje on one side and Tom Curry on the other, so I wouldn't read into it at all. Don't you worry about that.
But these guys have been going for the last half an hour. It's been relentless. This is the first break. Now, you're in the middle of that red huddle right there. What kind of messages are you feeding to the rest of your team?
I'm saying breathe. Like, no, genuinely, this is another thing that the team will practice.
Okay.
So in downtime, you've got to recover.
Yeah.
You got to control your breathing, you've got to get good messages, you've got to get eye contact. We can't have people wandering off, looking at big screens, being distracted. You guys want buying in to those key leaders. So Owen, George Ford, Ben Youngs, Dobby, Dan Robson. You know, what's our next job? When we leave this huddle, what's our next thing we're going to go implement? So in those moments, get water on board, control your breathing, next job.
Happy days. Well, it's been brilliant to get this level of insight from Dylan Hyle as well as the players Richard Hill and Nolly Waterman. Hopefully you've enjoyed all of that, but do join us back in 20 minutes where we're going to be joined by the main man, no offence Dylan, Eddie Jones, the England head coach. Eddie Jones is going to join us in 20 minutes. Thank you so much for watching O2 Inside Live. We'll see you very soon.